Hi, Nikki, and welcome to the Haley Osborne Show. I'm so glad that you are here.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited that we decided to do this.
Yeah, it's been like a long time in the making, but I got you here. Woo!
I'm so glad you did.
So, I've done a little intro about you, but I would love you to tell my listeners who you are and what you do.
So, my name is Nikki, and I am the founder of the Digital Exchange. And basically, it's an agency where we help brands grow and scale using Facebook ads, SEO, and Google ads. So, I teach Facebook ads and SEO, but we also manage Facebook ads and Google ads for clients. So, essentially, we try and help brands grow and scale so that they can live life on their own terms.
Yeah, so it's a hybrid model. So you do a bit of both. You do, which is kind of like me. So you do teaching and you have courses, which people can learn independently, which, it works for some people, but then others are like, do it for me. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of cater to, I guess, people wherever they're at. So if they're new in business, they might like to do a course. And if they're really busy and they've been in business for a little bit longer, they might like to hand it over. Or it doesn't matter. I guess you get people coming in at all levels, but at least we cater to all those different groups.
Yeah. So SEO stands for, which, I'm sure most people know, but let's dumb it right back.
Search
Search.
engine optimization.
Yeah. So, like, talk a little bit about, like, I guess, the importance. I bang on so much because I don't think people really realize that the social media space is rented. Be it a very, very powerful marketing tool, it is rented space. So, like, tell me the importance of web, Google, SEO, like all of that stuff and why it is so important.
Yeah, so you touched on a really good point that social media is rented space. So your website is an owned platform, which means that it can't be taken away from you at any time. So it's really important to drive as much traffic as you can to that space that you own, which is your website. And a really good and easy way to do that is using search engine optimization. So SEO, as the acronym, is all the actions that you take on your website and on other people's website in order to push you to that first position in Google for the keywords that best describe your business. And it's really important that you do set that up because it's going to drive more traffic to your website, which is going to equal more clicks and conversions. But it's also going to, get you more visible. When you're in those top positions in Google, people, I guess it's like really good PR. People think they trust you more because they think, oh, I see, you're in that top position. They're more likely to click. They're 30% more likely to click if you're in that top position. And it's SEO is completely free to do. So it's kind of a no-brainer. And all the work that you do now compounds for years to come. It doesn't just stop like social media, which expires, a couple minutes after you post.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So how long have you been doing this for? How long have you been running your business? And have you seen like so much change, like rapid change in this space? Because like the Google algorithm, search engine, all the things in Google, like it can be really confusing when you're not in it.
definitely. And I think Google as a whole they're always releasing new updates and things that we need to keep on top of. But the beauty with the things that Google changes is it's always things that make sense that you should be doing anyway. It's not like crazy changes that you might see in other platforms. And so just going back to your question, I've had my agency for 6 years. Prior to that, I was a marketing manager for a big international business. And we used to do all of this kind of marketing as well in-house. But essentially, the things like creating really high quality content or getting other websites to mention yours and things like that, all the things that Google is constantly updating, as I said, are things that you should be doing anyway. You don't want to be creating bad content. You want to be creating good content. You don't want to be, getting bad quality people to talk about your business. You want to be getting good quality people. And if you do, then you won't get penalized. You'll get benefited by Google.
Mm. And when you say you want to be creating good content, you mean like blog articles or like the podcast transcript summaries, keeping your like page content up to date. So, you know, for those of you that are so busy in your business and you never work on your business, leaving your website untouched for like a year is not best practice. Is that right?
Exactly. Google, rewards people that are constantly updating things and keeping, I guess up with their algorithm and adding new things that relate to whatever's relevant at the time. So if you can create quality content, even across your website pages, your blogs and other podcast things and everywhere else that the copy is and content is on the web, then you are going to keep Google happy and they are going to be more likely to rank you. So when I say quality as well, I don't just mean like pulling a whole bunch of random stuff from AI. You can use that as a guide, but you definitely want to have your own unique spin and source on things that sets you apart from other people.
Yeah. And so you've just taught a masterclass inside superhero marketing. So there was so many knowledge bombs in there. And well, you call them truth bombs, but it's like I couldn't believe some of the things that you said. So I guess like let's start with, you know, what is a traffic strategy and why is it important?
So a traffic strategy is the way that you get all the, I guess, the ways that you get people to your website. So when you have a traffic strategy or when you have a business, you need to get eyeballs on your website or people that are seeing your business. Because if you don't have people clicking through to your website, so or coming from all different marketing places, then you're never going to have anyone to buy or book from you. And the way that you create one is, well, we've actually got a calculator that we've created. So you can go to the digitalexchange.co/traffic. And basically we have this calculator and you put in how much money you want to make this year and it will spit out how much traffic you need on your from your website or
I'll
going
put
to
that in the show notes too if someone's driving and they can't do that straight
yes.
away. Just lost my words.
I was gonna say they can DM me traffic, but then they still need to remember my
Yeah.
my Instagram handle.
No, I'll put that in there too, but I've got that. It's a really good tool. So thanks.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Yeah. So essentially, you need to know how much traffic you need in order to hit your revenue goal so that you can break it down and create a plan on how you're going to reach that traffic goal. And the way that you reach that traffic goal is all the different marketing that you implement, and then that serves as and then the clicks that you get from that marketing through to your website. So they make up the traffic. So say my calculator spat out that you needed 1,000 people visiting your website every month, then you need to think, okay, well, I'm doing what? Social media, search engine optimization, Facebook ads. How many clicks am I getting from each one? If I'm not hitting those click goals, then I'm probably not going to hit my sales goals either. So you can't just say, oh, I'm not hitting my sales goals, but not actually create a traffic plan in order to hit those revenue goals.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the way your website works, and for businesses that don't have a website, that's the first thing that I think that you need to do because it just, I guess, that's your suit and tie version of your business. And I like to call the social stuff your shorts and t-shirt version. It really makes you like legitimate in business when you have a website and then, you know, doing the practical stuff like this work is, I think, takes the first place over any other like marketing, like, you know, social media or PR or anything like that. This is the most important work first and foremost, because you have to have your house, like you've got to, you know, landscape.
Exactly. I
Oh,
like that
so
one.
funny. But yeah, no, this is like it's just keep everything like, you know, intact. And this is the foundation for that, I definitely feel, because yeah, lots of people come to me, for example, and they've just got their socials, but it's not enough because otherwise, you know, that's really a hobby. But the website is takes precedent.
Exactly. And the thing is, you really need like that landing page where people can see everything that you offer or that you sell. And truthfully, it's really hard to get a lot of traffic. It's a bit like from social media itself, it's much easier to direct traffic to a website and to get eyeballs on your website. So if you want to be favored by Google and start getting a lot of traffic to your website so that you're hitting your sales and revenue goals, then a website is definitely where you want to start. And then you want to start looking at ways to drive to drive traffic to your website using whatever marketing you want. Obviously, what we're talking about SEO today, because SEO accounts for 54% of organic search traffic. So it's a big part of it. So if you're not implementing SEO, you're missing out on a whole bunch of free traffic that doesn't require that much work to get as well.
So what are some good ways to drive traffic to your website?
So do you want SEO related, or do you want anything?
Let's go with anything.
Anything. So I will start off by saying that social media can be quite hard to drive traffic to your website, because a lot of the platforms are created so that you don't leave the platform. They want you to stay on there. So they make it really hard for you to X out. And say if you're saying, like I was saying before, you want 1,000 people to visit your website a month, it's really good to go into your last post and actually have a look at how many clicks came from that post to you, or how many clicks through to your link in bio and then through to your website you got. Because honestly, it's going to take you months if you're just using social media to hit your traffic goals, which will then mean you'll hit your sales and revenue goals. But the best way is definitely by far search engine optimization, because it's free to do. People are searching using keywords and they're going to be matched with you. So their intent to buy is high. So that's probably the best way. I am also a big lover of Facebook and Google ads. So I use all of the marketing tactics that I use in my agency are the ones that I have seen get results for clients time and time again. So I'm a big believer in paid advertising. If you're ready to scale, you need to get your organic in line first. So they will accelerate your marketing as long as you have everything else in place. So if your business isn't working well to start with, don't do paid ads. Keep on the organic strategy. So going back to organic, the best one that you can probably implement is email marketing. So email marketing is a super easy way to drive traffic to your website, because basically you're sending out emails and you're giving all the links directly to your website in the email, and you're keeping top of mind in your customer's mind. And yeah, basically if you do that every week, you're going to be like all of that's going to be compounding, and you're going to reach your click goals higher, and your website traffic goals, and then your sales goals, etc. But they're probably my top ones. But of course, it depends. Like I find podcasting is also super helpful if people do that, which I mean, we're doing a podcast right now, so that's fantastic. And I mean, you don't even have to have a podcast. You can go on someone else's podcast, because that still drives traffic to your website. So
I think, honestly, you say, like I said, what are some good ways to drive traffic? But, for those listening, it's not just one thing that you need to be doing. It is all the things, and practice makes perfect. So when you tick off one thing, try and do something else and just keep compounding. And it's that 1%, right? So if you do 1% every day, you'll be 365% further by the end of the year than you were at the beginning of the year. And that's a beautiful place to be. So it's just managing, I guess, that workload and choosing what you're going to do that week to reach that North Star of increasing your website landing on page 1.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, don't do it all at once, because it will be overwhelming. But if you implement it, like you said, in those small steps, it won't be, it's not as scary. But email marketing is like a super easy one, and it's not that expensive to do. So it's a good place to start. But yeah, it definitely helps if the more places that you're appearing, because, you start showing up and people start seeing you everywhere.
And how long does it take to get results?
From
when you start to do things, how long? Because people are impatient, right? I think getting more impatient as a society.
I think it probably depends on how much time you have and then how much budget you have. Like obviously if you have a big budget, it's much easier because you've got all hands on deck. But if you were doing it all yourself, in all honesty, it can take 6 months to a year to really start to get that traction that you want and start to get a full load of people coming in. So, and sometimes it can be even longer, but if you're relying on social media alone, it's going to be taking you a very long time to get there, unless you create something super viral that aligns with what you sell.
Yeah.
But generally that doesn't happen for the average person. So
I have
I
a,
would.
sorry, go.
Oh no, I was gonna say, yeah, I would give it, at least 6 to 12 months to kick off.
I have a saying in my business, and it's done is better than perfect. Do you think this would relate to, SEO?
Yes, I think so. But as long as I think the main thing with SEO is that people don't implement backlinks. They implement the website setup component and they put keywords on their website, but they forget to implement the backlinks, which is links from other websites to yours. And without that component, then you won't ever go, like your ranking won't ever increase. So near enough is good enough, but it has to have the right bits that are the near enough, the near enough
Yeah.
bits have to be the right components. Otherwise you won't see those results in the search
It
engine.
is, yeah, it is more technical when it comes to Google because keywords are keywords. And so when you taught in the masterclass, you mentioned that like ranking for like 4 keywords is better than just say marketing. That's not going to be something that you would try and rank for.
Exactly. So for example, just using a product example that came to mind, or I could use the marketing one as well, or I'll use marketing. So if someone was to search marketing versus Facebook ads agency, Sydney, Australia, right? The person that's searching for Facebook or marketing could be searching for anything, whereas someone that's using very specific keyword terms and like a longer sentence with more description in there, they're going to be more qualified when they hit your website because they're actually using keywords and they know what they want. Whereas, so you can see that there's a big disparity between those two different searches. So it's better to try and use longer, like a longer phrase. It's 3 or 4 keywords when you're first starting out, because those bigger ones are going to be too broad. The traffic volume will be too high. You won't be able to compete with big brands, but also it won't properly align, and the reason for their search won't be matched properly. So yeah, use something
Yeah.
more
So
specific.
I did a little test on myself when you were presenting in the masterclass, and it was digital marketing. And obviously, I'm nowhere to be found because, like HubSpot and those really big education platforms, like they have lots of money behind ads, as well as just they punch out a blog probably every single day. And you can't compete with that. So, yeah, the longer phrase keywords are the ones that are like better to try and rank for as a smaller business.
Exactly, especially when you're first starting out. So maybe if you went in and put in like, marketing agency and then your area or something more specific to what you do, then you would, come up a little bit higher in the search results. But yeah, you're never going to be able to outrank these people because they're too big. So
Yeah.
it's better off just to go with those specific keywords that they aren't going after.
Yeah, nice. And we also talked about dashes or adding things like that. And I was really like impressed with your answer because I didn't actually know that. So if we've got self-contained with the dash, what happens there?
So Google's going to be able to, Google's smart enough to be able to read those words. So I generally would use what in the copy itself, I would be using the dashes, because that if that's the right English and that's what people are searching, then do that. But when you look in something like SEMrush, you're probably just going to see the word without the hyphen. But always in your content and copy, write the correct English and what people are searching. But Google will match you anyway because it sees a dash as a space. So it's able to read those two words separately. So
Yeah, which is so clever because I know that that would be a question that a lot of people would have just listening to this. So why would we choose like SEO over other marketing?
well, SEO is the main way that traffic is is the main source of traffic to websites. So it's completely free to implement. It compounds over time. So all the work that you do today will keep paying off for years to come, which is unlike any other marketing. Like with paid ads, as soon as you stop paying, they stop, promoting you. Social media, as soon as you post, it expires. It's super good PR for your business to be in that top position. People are searching using keywords, which makes them more qualified and more likely to buy. You're not just randomly popping up in their social media feed and hoping that they like what they see. So for all those kind of reasons, it makes it a super easy way to capture your attention, the attention of the person that wants what you sell. And because they're using keywords, they can be matched with you. All you have to do is, do the action steps in the back end of your website, and then you'll be matched with them. And it's just such a simple no-brainer way. Whereas like other forms of marketing, you actually have to actively go out all the time and be making adjustments, creating posts, doing whatever you need to do, creating more work for yourself. Whereas this is more like, I don't want to say it's a set and forget, but you do the bulk of the setup at the start and then it doesn't require much maintenance after. So that's kind of like another thing that makes it such an attractive marketing tool.
Yeah, yeah. And it just seems like you also said something really important on it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Whereas, like TikTok, for example, has been banned in some countries, whereas you will always own your website. Google is strong. They have like amazing algorithms and just like the foundation is there and it really isn't. It's how much market share do they have?
I think 92% I think it is of people use Google.
Yeah, so it's so strong and yeah, you own your website. Your website does appear in other search engines, but Google is yeah, number one and it's a strong and it ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, it's very sophisticated, the algorithm. And so everything that you do to boost your position to one in for Google will also help you in all the other search engines because of that sophistication. It's really smart at reading things. And yeah, so all the work that you do to rank in first position for Google will help you in all the other search engines too. So focus on that one, considering it has 92% market share and you'll get the best, I guess, bang for your buck.
So talk to me about your courses.
Yes, maybe.
How can we work with you?
So I have two different programs. I have my SEO program, which is, I like to say it's probably the simplest way to rank in first position in Google. So without having to spend any money or show up on social media if that's not what you like to do. I know it's not what I love. I don't love doing it. So that's SEO made easy, and that is open twice a year. So generally in February and October. And then when people have got their organic social media sorted out, I also have Facebook ads workshops. So essentially, if you want to get more leads or clients or build your email contacts, or you want to get more sales if you're an e-com business, I have a workshop for each business type. And yeah, it's just a 2 to 3 hour workshop that you can go in and it teaches you how to set those ads up, manage them, and optimize to scale your business.
Yeah, nice. I love that. Well, how can we find you? Where are you? Where your website, your Instagram, like to stalk you?
So I'm at the digitalexchange.co. That's .co, not .com. And I am also the digitalexchange.co on Instagram. But if you search me on other platforms like Facebook, I've also got a YouTube channel where I take you through how to do lots of things on Facebook ads, like do little tutorials. And LinkedIn, I'm the Digital Exchange on all of those platforms. So you can come find me there and say hello.
Yay, I have loved this conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your like insights and just zone of genius with the audience. I'm sure like reach out to Nicki. She's super like accommodating and lovely if you have any questions. But thanks so much.
No worries. Thank you for having me. I've loved it. I'm so glad we finally did this.